If you have ever tried to put Telegram behind the proxy, you have probably hit a wall of confusing options. MTProto, SOCKS5, a free link someone pasted into a channel that worked for a day and then went dead. This video sorts all of it out. I am going to show you the two real ways to run Telegram through a proxy, exactly where to type them in on every device, and why the free ones keep dying on you while a real connection just stays up. I run a hardware proxy farm here in Singapore. Real phones, real SIM cards from Singtel, M1, and StarHub. People route Telegram through my lines every single day for two very different reasons, and I set this exact thing up so often that I know every place it goes wrong. So instead of a list of links that will be dead by next week, I want to give you the understanding that makes any proxy you ever touch make sense. Here is the plan. First, the two reasons anyone puts Telegram behind the proxy because they need completely different things. Then the two protocols Telegram actually understands, MTProto and SOCKS5, in plain language. Then exactly where you enter a proxy on phone and on desktop. Then why the free ones die, and when you genuinely need a mobile IP instead of just any proxy. Start with why because it decides everything else. There are two reasons to proxy Telegram. The first is reach. You are somewhere Telegram is blocked or throttled and you just need the app to connect it all. The second is identity. Telegram works fine where you are, but you are running more than one account, or you want a clean, stable address that is not your home line, and you do not want those accounts quietly linked to each other by the network they share. Those two goals pull in opposite directions, and almost every bad setup comes from using the tool for one when you actually needed the other. The reach problem is about getting through a wall. The identity problem is about looking like a normal, separate person on a trusted connection. A free censorship proxy can sometimes solve the first, it will actively hurt you on the second. Now the two protocols. Telegram is unusual because it has its own proxy type built in called MTProto. It was designed specifically to get Telegram traffic through national firewalls, and it disguises the connection so it does not look like Telegram at all. That is its whole job. It is brilliant at the reach problem, and it is the thing behind almost every free Telegram proxy link you have ever seen shared in a channel. The other option is SOCKS5, which is a general proxy protocol that almost everything understands, not just Telegram. SOCKS5 does not disguise anything. It simply takes your traffic and sends it out through another address. That makes it the right tool for the identity problem because what you care about there is the address you come from and how trusted it is, not hiding the fact that you are using Telegram. So which do you pick? If your only problem is that Telegram is blocked and you need it to connect, MTProto is built for exactly that. If your goal is a clean, stable identity for one or more accounts, a real address that does not get you flagged, you want SOCKS5 pointed at a proxy that actually owns a good IP. Most people searching for this are told to use MTProto because the free links are everywhere and then they wonder why their accounts still get limited. They solve the wrong problem. Here is where you actually type it in because this part is genuinely easy once you stop second guessing it. On your phone, open Telegram, go to Settings, then Data and Storage, then Proxy Settings. Turn on Use Proxy and add a proxy. You will be asked to choose SOCKS5 or MTProto, then to enter a server, a port, and your credentials. For SOCKS5, that is a username and password. For MTProto, it is a secret, which is a long string instead of a login. Save it, and a small shield icon appears at the top when it is connected. On desktop, it is the same idea in a different menu. Settings, then Advanced, then Connection Type, then Use Custom Proxy. Same choice of SOCKS5 or MTProto, same server, port, and credentials. The important thing to understand is that the four pieces never change. A server address, a port, and the credentials that prove the connection is yours. Every proxy you ever enter anywhere is some arrangement of those same fields. One detail saves people a lot of pain. The port is not decoration. Your provider often runs SOCKS5 on one port and a sticky or rotating endpoint on another. So if you connect to the wrong port, you can get the wrong behavior entirely. If you are running an account you want to stay logged in, you want a sticky address that holds steady, not one that quietly rotates and logs you out in the middle of the day, pick the port that matches what you are doing. Now the part nobody selling you a free link wants to explain. Why do the free Telegram proxies keep dying? Because a free proxy is shared by thousands of strangers all at once, it has no owner who is paid to keep it alive, and the moment it gets popular, it either gets blocked or it collapses under the load. You are one of a crowd standing on the same address and you have no idea what the rest of that crowd is doing on it. For just getting a message through in an emergency, fine. For anything you care about, you are building on sand. And that shared address is poison for account work specifically. If you log into your Telegram account from an address that thousands of random people are also hammering, some of them doing things that get the address flagged, Telegram sees your account sitting on dirty shared infrastructure. That is how people get phone verification demands, limits, and bans on accounts that did nothing wrong themselves. The account was guilty by association with the free proxy it sat on. This is the point where a real mobile IP changes the game, and it is worth understanding why. A mobile proxy routes you through an actual phone on an actual carrier over 4G or 5G. Carriers put thousands of real customers behind each address, so that address carries enormous trust because no platform wants to ban an IP that thousands of genuine phone users share. You inherit that trust. Instead of looking like a crowd on a flagged proxy, you look like one more ordinary phone in Singapore. For running Telegram accounts that have to stay healthy, that is the whole difference. A clean carrier address, ideally one that is yours and not split across 50 people, gives each account a believable home that does not raise flags. Pair one account to one stable mobile address and it behaves like a normal person on a normal phone, which is exactly what it is pretending to be. That is something no free MTProto link can ever give you because the entire point of those is to be shared. There is one more thing to check whichever route you take, and that is where your DNS resolves. With SOCKS5, you want your tool resolving names through the proxy, not on your own machine, or you leak your real location before the proxy is even involved. Telegram handles most of this internally, but if you are also pointing a browser or an automation tool at the same proxy, use the SOCKS5H variants so the lookups go through the tunnel. It is one quiet setting that decides whether your setup actually hides what you think it hides. Before you trust any of this, test it the lazy way. Connect the proxy, then check your address on a neutral site that just reports your IP and carrier back to you. If it shows a Singapore mobile carrier and not your home line or some data center name, you are genuinely connected through a real mobile address. If it shows a hosting company, you were handed a data center proxy wearing a mobile label, and for Telegram account work that will get you flagged just like the free ones do. Let me make the multi-account case concrete because it is where most people watching this actually live. Say you are running 5 Telegram accounts. The mistake is logging all 5 in through the same proxy because now they all share one address, and Telegram is very good at noticing 5 accounts that always appear together on the same line. That shared fingerprint is exactly what gets a whole batch limited at once. The fix is one stable address per account, or at least small clean groups, so each account looks like its own person on its own connection instead of a farm sitting on a single IP. You will also see Telegram proxies shared as a single tap link, the kind that fills in the server, port, and secret for you automatically when you tap it. That convenience is also the danger. When you tap a stranger's link, you have no idea who runs that server, who else is on it, or what they can see. For getting through a block in a pinch, it is fine. For an account you care about, never hand your session to a random link because whoever runs that proxy sits in the middle of your traffic. Type in a connection you actually control instead. One last question people ask, do you even need mobile for this, or will a cheaper proxy do? If you just need reach, any working proxy gets Telegram connected. If you are running accounts you cannot afford to lose, the trust level of the address is everything, and mobile sits at the top because each carrier IP is shared by thousands of real phones. Residential is a step down but workable. Data center is the bottom, and it is the fastest way to get an account flagged. Match the address quality to how much the account is worth to you. Let me save you the mistakes I see most. 1. Using a free MTProto link for account work and wondering why the account got limited. 2. Running every account through one address so they all get linked together. 3. Picking a rotating port when you wanted a sticky one so you get logged out mid-session. 4. Forgetting that a proxy in Telegram only covers Telegram, not the rest of your device, so your other apps still show your real line. And 5. Never testing the address so you never notice it was a data center IP until the ban starts. So here is the whole thing in one breath. Decide if your problem is reach or identity. Use MTProto if you just need Telegram to connect to a block. Use SOCKS5 on a real trusted address if you are running accounts you want to keep. Enter it under Settings, Data and Storage, Proxy on mobile, or Advanced Connection on desktop. Pick the port that matches sticky or rotating, and never build anything that matters on a free shared link because the price of free is that your account pays for it later. If you want to run Telegram on a real Singapore mobile address from my own farm, there is a free trial of Singapore Mobile Proxy. real SIMs on Singtel M1 and StarHub, a sticky address you can hold for an account, and both SOCKS5 and the credentials you need to drop straight into Telegram. The link is in the description and it points to the homepage so you can start there. If this made Telegram proxies finally make sense, subscribe, because the next video goes deeper into running multiple accounts without them all getting linked, which is where the real mistakes happen. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.